Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make black tea, loose black tea, and I have selected an orange pekoe black tea from Vithanakande Estate, Sri Lanka. These are Ceylon teas, as you know. The orange pekoe is easily termed as an OP1 tea. And here's a picture of what it looks like up front. It's a large wiry leaf. It's a low elevation tea, but it has a beautiful color and an excellent flavor to it. And like all black teas, they are more forgiving than green teas when it comes to temperature. But still, there are some black teas that are more susceptible to the astringency, the bitterness part of it, like a Darjeeling tea, for example, and some high elevation Ceylon teas. But this, being a low elevation Ceylon tea, is very forgiving. So if we keep the temperature at around 200 degrees and give it a steeping time of 5 minutes, we are well within the range of making good tea. We have it in tins or in a normal bag, 4-ounce bag, and as all black teas are, they have to be either consumed straight without any addition of milk or sugar, or if you like, you can always add a little bit of sweetener. On the other hand, you can also make it strong so that you can add milk to it. Now today I'm going to just do it plain and show you the beautiful color that comes out in this tea. So I'm going to use 2 grams of tea for 8 ounces water. Now this being a 16-ounce teapot, it's a glass teapot with the lid, available on our website as a 16-ounce conventional teapot glass. I'm going to use double the quantity, that is 4 grams. The normal yardstick for making black tea is 2 grams for 8 ounces of water. So since we are doing 16 ounces of water, we'll use 4 grams of tea. So I'm going to put this on the scale and measure out measure out 4 grams. This is a glass infuser, as you can see. I like to make tea in glassware. So here's, tear that off, and we need 24, 2.4, 2.63, 3.5, 3.8, 4 grams. Now, as I have told in an earlier video, there is always the question of how do you judge weight and volume measure. For example, if I use a teaspoon like this, how can I equate that to the amount of tea that is in here? So that's an assumption that you have to make, and that comes through experience. Now I would say 2 of these heaping teaspoons would be about 4 grams. So there again, it depends on each tea. There are some teas that are heavier than others, some teas that are more bulky than others. So it's again no easy task for measuring it with a spoon, the most accurate would be to use a gram scale, but most people don't have the gram scale and they would use a teaspoon. So as long as you get it somewhat in that vicinity, you'll be making good tea. So here's the infuser, and I'm going to put that in. As I said, the water temperature 200 degrees up to about 205. On the lower side, 195 degrees. So this is at 200 degrees. It's right to the brim. And then I put the lid, and I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and that will give us a good cup of tea. It should give us a good cup of tea. Now, Vithanakande Estate is a low elevation estate, as I said, and it's very famous. It has not only the OP grade of tea, but they make about 10 different grades of tea. Now, grading, when tea people talk about grades, they're not referring to the quality aspect of it or the flavor aspect of it. Grading is simply a term used for categorizing particle sizes. The biggest being OP1, like this one, and then you have the OP, which is a little smaller, and then you have BOP ones, broken orange Pico ones, then broken orange Pico, BOP, then smaller than that would be the Fanning's grade or a Pico grade, and then the Fanning's grade. So these are simply sizes that are made and adjusted in the rolling room. In the rolling process, you can adjust the rollers to be able to give you some of the smaller particles or the larger particles. So the amount of pressure that is used, the amount of rolling that is done, the amount of time in the rolling process, all that is determined, all that results in different kinds of grades. What comes out of the rollers is a mixed bag. So you get the large particles, you get the small particles, and anything in between. So you have to wait and see in the sifting process or the sieving process after the black tea is made, after the drying process. Once that is done, you sieve the tea, and then only these categories will be separated out. So here's an idea of looking at the time to see how we have here. Okay. So orange Pico is a grade. Broken orange Pico is a grade, simply known as BOP. Fanning's is a small grade. Then there is a dust grade. Dust 1 is a larger particle size than the dust, and the smallest is the dust. And as I said, there is some grades in between. Then there are the flowery grades. The flowery, it starts with the letter F in front of the grading. FBOP or FOP. They refer to the presence of little buds called tip. They appear as brown particles among the black tea. So in this case, this is not a flowery grade. We have other flowery grades, but this is not a flowery grade. So I will do another video using flowery grades, either in a Darjeeling or in the Vithanakande. We have another Vithanakande that has the buds in it. So suffice to say that whether there are buds or not, it can be categorized as a black tea. Buds only enhance the flavor, and in the rolling process they are preserved. So if you exert too much pressure in the rolling process, you destroy the buds due to heat. And there is a special technique where you preserve the buds. So either way, they attribute to a very, very good high standard of manufacture, as done here in Vithanakande Estate. Now, let's see how this tea is turning out. You can see that the tea leaves are expanding. You can see the tea leaves expanding, and this is the neat thing about using glassware, because you can actually see the tea leaves inside. And we have another 8 seconds to go, and it's coming up shortly, so let me remove that and take the infuser out. There you go. Shut that off. That's 5 minutes brewing time. Keep that aside. Replace the lid, and you can see again how beautiful that color is. Now, to make it even nicer, I'm going to open the shades and get some sunlight into this room. Okay, just look at the color now. Isn't that a beautiful golden color? Yeah. So now it's time for tasting. So let me pour out into this cup. Again, I use glass because it's so beautiful. It enhances the appearance of the tea, and especially when you have a good source of light, it makes it even nicer. So what would I expect in this tea? For one thing, it should be smooth. The next would be that it has a good flavor, and thirdly, it will not have any bitterness, and that's what I'm expecting in this tea. Cheers. Yeah, all three plus. You should check it out. It's easy to make, and it's really good tea. You can make it stronger if you like. You can even double the strength and then add milk to it if you like it that way. But this is an excellent tea, and I congratulate Vithanakande Estate for making this tea and doing it to perfection. Enjoy.